Whispers had been circulating on the streets, but nothing could prepare anyone for the bombshell that just dropped. Kirk Frost, one of Love and Hip Hop's most talked about personalities, has been implicated in a massive financial scandal. And the worst part, Rasheeda is completely blindsided. Sources close to the couple reveal that Rasheeda had no idea about Kirk's shady dealings, and now her entire empire is at risk. Fans were left shocked and horrified when reports surfaced linking Kirk to a multi-million-dollar fraudulent scheme that had been under investigation for months. Insiders claim he was caught red-handed, and now authorities are closing in. Rasheeda, who's built a name for herself as a boss lady in the fashion and beauty industry, was devastated when she discovered the truth. Trust us, it wasn't pretty. Tears were shed, accusations were thrown, and their marriage may not survive this scandal. Could this be the final straw for Rasheeda and Kirk? Will she stand by him, or is she ready to walk away for good? Buckle up, because this is about to get messy. Rasheeda had spent the morning handling business at her boutique, completely unaware of the storm brewing outside. Customers whispered among themselves, glancing at their phones, their eyes widening with every new update. The headlines were everywhere. Kirk Frost caught in financial scam, millions at stake. At first, it seemed like just another rumor, typical gossip surrounding Kirk. But this time, it wasn't just speculation. The accusations were serious, and the receipts were undeniable. It wasn't until Rasheeda's assistant rushed into the store, phone in hand, that reality began to sink in. "Rasheeda, you need to see this right now," her assistant said, her voice urgent, hand slightly shaking as she handed over the phone. Rasheeda frowned, scrolling through the explosive news reports. Her heart pounded as she read the details. Kirk Frost accused of embezzlement, fraudulent business dealings, and running a multi-million-dollar scam. Authorities had been investigating him for months. Bank accounts frozen, business assets under review, possible jail time. The words blurred in front of her eyes as a sick feeling settled in her stomach. She barely noticed the store fall silent. Customers were no longer shopping. They were staring at her, waiting for some kind of reaction. For the first time in a long time, Rasheeda felt powerless. She took a deep breath, forcing a smile. "Yo, excuse me for a moment," she said, her voice calm, controlled, nothing like the chaos brewing inside her. She handed the phone back to her assistant and stormed into her office, slamming the door behind her. The moment she was alone, she lost it. Her hands trembled as she dialed Kirk, her heart racing. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times voicemail. She cursed under her breath and immediately tried again. This time, he picked up. "Hey babe, what's up?" His voice was too casual, like he didn't have a care in the world. Rasheeda's anger erupted. "Kirk, what the hell is going on? I just saw the news. Embezzlement, fraud. What is this mess?" There was a long pause. Too long. "Kirk, I swear to God, if you don't start talking." "Rasheeda, listen, it's not what it looks like," he said, his voice scrambling. "People are just trying to set me up." "Set you up?" Rasheeda spat. "They're saying you've been moving money around, that you've been under investigation." "Are they lying?" "Tell me they're lying." Another pause. Then finally, in a barely audible voice, he admitted, "I didn't think it would come out like this." Rasheeda's breath hitched. "So it's true." Silence. Something inside her broke. She gritted her teeth, her free hand clenching into a fist. "You promised me, Kirk," she said, her voice low, shaking with fury. "After everything we've been through, you promised me there wouldn't be any more secrets. How could you do this?" "Rasheeda, please." "Explain what?" She snapped. "That you've been out here playing dirty with our money." "My money?" "You didn't think for 1 second about how this would affect me." "My business? Our family?" Kirk sighed heavily, running his hands through his hair. "It's not that simple." A sudden knock on her office door made Rasheeda jump. "Rasheeda, there's someone here to see you." Her assistant's voice was nervous. Rasheeda wiped a hand over her face, her heart racing. "Who?" A pause. Federal agents. For a moment, Rasheeda forgot how to breathe. She stared at the door, then back at her phone. Kirk, please tell me this isn't happening. He was silent, and that was all the answer she needed. Panic surged through her veins. You need to fix this, Kirk, now. Rasheeda, just don't say anything. Let me handle it. It's too late for that. Taking a deep breath, Rasheeda stood up, straightening her blazer, masking her fear behind a confident mask. If the feds were here, she would face them head on. But deep down, she knew this was just the beginning of a nightmare. Rasheeda, I told you, I never thought it would go this far. Kirk, you didn't think. Rasheeda, that's your excuse? You didn't think while you were moving our money around, while you were making shady deals, while you put everything we've worked for at risk? Kirk finally meets her gaze, his voice desperate. You have to believe me, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Rasheeda scoffs bitterly. Oh, you didn't mean for this to happen? Well, guess what, Kirk? It's happening. And now I've got the FBI knocking on my door, treating me like a criminal. Because of you. Kirk stands up, his face hardening. I never wanted to drag you into this. Rasheeda scoffs. Well, congratulations, you did. Now I need answers, right? Now, Kirk exhales slowly, running a hand down his face. He hesitates before speaking. There were some investments, some business opportunities I thought would pay off, but things got complicated. Rasheeda echoes sharply. Complicated? Kirk, people don't get federal investigations over complicated business moves. What the hell did you do? Kirk hesitates again, his silence heavy. Finally, he speaks. I was approached by investors a while back. They had this real estate opportunity, big money. They promised triple the returns. It sounded solid, but it turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. Now the feds think I was involved. Rasheeda's blood runs cold. A Ponzi scheme? Are you out of your mind? Kirk, I didn't know. I thought it was legitimate. I only realized what was happening too late. By then, my name was already tied to everything. Rasheeda clenches her fist, nails digging into her palms. And how much are we talking about, Kirk? If the feds are this deep, this isn't just a couple thousand. Kirk looks away, jaw tightening. A lot. Rasheeda demands, how much? His voice is barely above a whisper, over $2 million. Rasheeda staggers back, gripping the desk. $2 million? Are you kidding me? Kirk, baby, listen. Rasheeda interrupts angrily. No, you put $2 million into a scam, and now we're supposed to hope the feds just let us walk away. He reaches for her, but she steps back, shaking her head. I can't believe you did this to me. To us. Kirk, I was trying to make a better life for us. Rasheeda lets out a hollow laugh. A better life? We were fine. We didn't need some shady deal. We had businesses, we had stability, and now we could lose everything. The weight of his mistake hits him, his shoulders slump, and for the first time, Kirk looks afraid. Rasheeda, I'll fix this. Rasheeda laughs bitterly. Fix it? How, Kirk? The feds aren't just going to walk away. They don't start investigating unless they have evidence. Kirk, I'll make it right. Rasheeda shakes her head. No, it's too late for that. You've already put everything we've worked for at risk. Her voice rises with frustration. Do you even understand what you've done? The feds are after me now. My name is on those transactions. Kirk, I didn't mean for any of this to happen, Rasheeda. I thought I could fix it before it went this far. Rasheeda steps back, her eyes filled with rage and disbelief. You used my business, didn't you? You moved that money through press. His silence answers her question. Rasheeda feels her breath catch in her throat. You did. Oh my God. You used my business to launder money. Kirk, I didn't think it would turn out like this. Rasheeda feels nauseous, her voice trembling with anger. Kirk, do you even understand what you've done? You've put my entire career, my reputation, at risk. I could lose everything because of your reckless decisions. Kirk, I swear, I'll fix this. Rasheeda laughs bitterly. Fix it? How, Kirk? The feds aren't just going to walk away. If my name's tied to those transactions, they'll come for me too. Kirk, I'll take the blame. I'll tell them you didn't know. You didn't have anything to do with it. Rasheeda shakes her head. You think they'll just believe you? The feds don't work like that. They don't care what you say. The tension thickens between them. Rasheeda turns away from him, pacing the room. I need a lawyer, she mutters, trying to process everything. I need to figure out how deep this really goes. Just then, her phone buzzes. She looks at the screen, an unknown number. Something inside her tells her to pick it up. Rasheeda hesitates before answering. Hello? A firm voice responds, Mrs. Frost, this is Agent Carter with the FBI. We need you to come in for questioning. Rasheeda's heart drops. Questioning? The agent continues, Yes, ma'am. We have reason to believe you were involved in fraudulent financial transactions, and we need your full cooperation. Rasheeda struggles to catch her breath. I don't understand. Why am I being questioned? The agent's voice remains firm. We have substantial records linking transactions from your business, pressed, to fraudulent accounts associated with an ongoing investigation. Rasheeda's world goes silent. You must be mistaken, she says, her voice shaking. I don't know anything about this. The agent doesn't budge. That's exactly why we're asking you to come in and clear things up. Do I need to get a lawyer? Rasheeda swallows hard. That would be advisable. She slowly lowers the phone, her ears ringing. The weight of the situation crashes down on her. Rasheeda turns to Kirk, her voice barely audible. They're saying I'm linked to fraudulent accounts. Kirk pales. Baby, listen. But Rasheeda cuts him off, stepping closer, fists clenched. You knew this would happen. You let it happen. Kirk, I didn't think they'd come for you. Rasheeda scoffs. Of course you didn't, because you never think about the consequences until it's too damn late. She looks away, the reality of the situation setting in. This wasn't just some petty scandal. It was federal-level trouble. Rasheeda turns back to him. I need a lawyer, Kirk. I need to figure out how deep this really goes. The silence between them feels suffocating. I already talked to one, Kirk admitted. You talked to one, and you did not tell me. Rasheeda snapped, her blood boiling all over again. I was trying to handle it. He said desperately, I did not want to scare you. Rasheeda's laugh was sharp and humorless. Well, congratulations, Kirk. I am terrified. A knock on the door sent shockwaves through her. She froze. Kirk's eyes widened. Already? She swallowed hard and approached the door cautiously. When she pulled it open, she gasped. It was Yandy. Girl, what in the world is going on? Yandy demanded, pushing past Rasheeda into the house. I just got a call from a reporter asking if you and Kirk were under investigation. Rasheeda's stomach twisted. Oh my God. Yandy turned to Kirk, arms crossed. So you want to tell me what is going on before this turns into a media circus? Kirk ran a hand down his face. It is complicated. Oh no, Yandy shot back. We do not do complicated in situations like this. We do straight answers. Rasheeda sank onto the couch, covering her face with her hands. It is bad, really bad. Yandy sat beside her, her expression softening. Tell me everything. Taking a shaky breath, Rasheeda recounted the entire nightmare. The shady investments, the FBI investigation, the phone call. When she finished, Yandy shook her head in disbelief. Kirk, are you serious right now? You let this happen? I did not mean to, he muttered. Oh, well, that makes it so much better. Yandy snapped sarcastically. Do you realize what you have done? Rasheeda's business, her reputation is on the line. If this story breaks in the wrong way, she is finished. Kirk looked pained. I know. Rasheeda let out a shaky breath. What am I supposed to do now, Yandy? Yandy's expression was firm. You fight this. First, we get you a lawyer. Your own lawyer, separate from Kirk. Kirk flinched but did not argue. Second, Yandy continued, we get ahead of the media. If the story is already leaking, you need to control the narrative. Rasheeda's heart pounded. How? Yandy pulled out her phone. We put out a statement now. Rasheeda hesitated. I do not even know what to say. I do, Yandy said firmly. You are going to say you had no knowledge of any illegal transactions and that you are fully cooperating with the investigation. Kirk shifted uncomfortably. Wouldn't that make it look like she is guilty? No, Kirk, Yandy shot back. What makes her look guilty is saying nothing. Rasheeda took the phone, staring at the blank screen. Her hands trembled. Do it, Yandy urged, before the blobs destroy you. With a deep breath, Rasheeda started typing. I want to make it very clear that I have had no involvement in any fraudulent activity. I am fully cooperating with the authorities to clear my name and protect my business. Thank you to my supporters for standing by me. More updates soon. She hit post before she could second-guess herself. The moment it went live, her phone exploded with notifications. Comments poured in, some supportive, others brutal. Girl, you knew what Kirk was doing. Stop playing victim. Federal authorities do not come unless there is real evidence. You are all guilty. Rasheeda, stay strong. We know you are innocent. Her heart pounded as she scrolled. Oh my God, this is happening so fast. Yandy grabbed her hand. You have got this. But Rasheeda, you need to start thinking about the worst case scenario. Rasheeda's blood ran cold. What do you mean? Yandy gave her a hard look. If this case blows up, you could lose everything. And if they build a case against you, she hesitated. You could go to jail. The words hit Rasheeda like a truck. She turned to Kirk, her voice barely above a whisper. Tell me the truth, Kirk. Am I going down with you? Kirk's face twisted with guilt. I do not know. A chilling silence filled the room. Rasheeda's body felt numb. The man she had trusted, the father of her children, had put her in the worst position of her life. Tears burned in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Instead, she clenched her fists, took a deep breath, and made a decision. She was not going to sit back and let her world collapse. If Kirk had dragged her into this, then she was getting herself out. Rasheeda had spent years building her empire, her music, her business, her brand. She had fought through scandals, betrayal, and heartbreak. But this was something else entirely. She stood in her office, staring at the city skyline through the glass windows. Her mind raced. The weight of everything pressed down on her chest like a heavy stone. The FBI investigation, the media circus, the betrayal. It was all too much. Her phone buzzed. It was her lawyer. She hesitated before answering. Mrs. Frost. His voice was serious. We need to talk urgently. Rasheeda closed her eyes and exhaled sharply. Go ahead. There has been a development. They are preparing to freeze your assets. Her breath caught. What? They believe the funds from press may have been used in fraudulent transactions. If they proceed, your business accounts will be locked. Rasheeda felt the room spin. Her livelihood, everything she had worked for, was at risk because of Kirk's mess. Her voice was barely steady. How long do I have? We do not know yet, the lawyer admitted, but we need to act fast. She clenched her jaw, her mind racing a mile a minute. If her accounts were frozen, she would not even be able to pay her employees. The thought of her staff losing their jobs because of Kirk's shady business made her sick. And Kirk? He had been silent ever since their last argument. He knew he had screwed up, but knowing was not enough. She needed action. Slamming her phone down, Rasheeda grabbed her purse and stormed out. She found Kirk sitting in their living room, his head in his hands. He looked up when she entered, his eyes bloodshot. You need to sign over your shares of press now. Kirk blinked, caught off guard. Wait, what? You heard me, Rasheeda said coldly. You are about to bring me down with you. and I will not let that happen. Kirk stood, rubbing his hands together anxiously. Baby, listen, we can figure something out. No, she snapped. You figure your own nest out. I am done cleaning up after you. He looked desperate. Rasheeda, you know I would not let anything happen to you. That is exactly what is happening, Kirk, she exploded. My name is all over this. My business is about to go under because of your decisions. You think saying I did not mean to is going to fix that? Kirk ran a hand down his face. I do not know what to do. She exhaled sharply, shaking her head. Sign the papers, Kirk. If my name is going to be dragged into this mess, at least I will have my business separate. There was a long silence. Finally, he nodded. I will do it, he murmured. Rasheeda did not feel relief, not yet, but it was a start. As the days passed, the media swarmed with speculation. Every blog, every gossip page, every major news outlet was talking about Kirk Frost's alleged financial scandal. And Rasheeda? She stayed silent. For once, she was not defending Kirk. She was not standing by his side, making excuses. She was protecting herself. One night, she sat in her car outside Press, watching the store she had built from the ground up. The neon lights glowed against the dark sky, but for the first time, she was not sure if they would stay on. She thought about everything, her journey, her sacrifices, the love she had given Kirk, the loyalty she had shown him, and what had he given her in return? Scandal, betrayal, a financial nightmare. She exhaled slowly. Maybe this was the final straw. The drama was just getting started, and the internet was losing its mind over what happens next. Is Rasheeda really going to walk away from Kirk for good this time? Will she be able to save her business before it is too late? Or is this scandal about to destroy everything she has built? One thing is for sure, this story is far from over. So what do you all think? Will Rasheeda finally leave Kirk, or will she stand by his side one more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more explosive updates, and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on the latest drama. Because trust me, this is just the beginning.